Now understand, we're here to give you a footprint or a format of how to do a 21 Club, the action, what it should look like. You have an upline that may use specific tools and may have some specific things they leverage, so you need to be plugging into that. We're not here telling you the words to go into your mouth. We're showing you the concept of what needs to be included, and you need to look at what you're doing to make sure it's included. And if you don't have an upline that you're mentoring with that's trimming it down to 45 minutes or under and creating this, then you need to find one that will. And I want to share with this part about the rapport. We're very much, all of us, encouraging you to do this across state lines, across countries, through media. I live a lot of my time doing these through Skypes and FaceTimes and webinars. We are doing simultaneous presentations. Some we're launching new people in the local area, so we're doing them face-to-face, like Mac's talking about, and I know Dennis and Tony will share, but we're also doing them through. So how do you build rapport when you might be on a webinar with a new person that's bringing on 10 people to a live webinar? The rapport comes after. It might have come before with the B reconnecting. They might plug into a webinar, but then afterwards, the ones that are excited are then three-wayed to an A, and then that rapport goes on at that time. So if you're doing in front of, if I put on a, believe me, sometimes I get 1-minute text telling me I'm going live on FaceTime. I'm barely getting the brush in my hair. And I might build rapport through FaceTime or Skype with that person, or Mac in a one-on-one appointment is building that rapport so you can present based on their need these things. But like I just wanted to point out, sometimes the rapport comes in the follow-up meeting if it's been done through a multiple mass presentation. So just wanted to put that in there. Again, Mac already covered this, and you need to really get that posture up about the timing and what we have. But I just wanted to show you before we pass it over to Tony is there's a rhythm with the 21 Club business, which Mac mentioned, Dennis mentions. During the time somebody's involved in it, both the A and the B and the C, the A is helping the B learn there's an information process. And the B, over consecutive appointments, is learning there's a process of follow-up. So the A is going to teach him how to follow up. You know, what kind of tracking system? Is there a grease board involved? Are you tracking on a 21 Club sheet and faxing to each other? That's antiquated, by the way. We take pictures with our smartphone and text the daily operation of what's going on with the 21 Club. You're showing them the rapid 24 hours to 48 hours. And in the beginning, when you are the A and you've got a real new B, you are doing the follow-up and tagging with the B, letting them see what you do. And as you're doing consecutive follow-ups, the B is learning how to do the follow-up that they've seen you do multiple times, and they're learning that as well. And then you're moving them to closure, and then you duplicate. These are all on a sheet, but and then just the additional benefits you'll get by being in a 21 Club. If you're going to be an A and you've not been an A before, or you've been an A that you did it 10 years ago, and you're not going to do an A, you're going to get better at shortening your presentations, working the process of information. This is why we lengthened the 21 Clubs to 30 days, so we could actually take people through an information process, learn to leverage tools, follow-up questions and decisions, and this is what the B will learn as well. So now I'm going to hand that back to Dennis.
Thank you, Pat. Let's give her a hand. So I want to just kind of shift gears here just a little bit. Those of you that come in the room a little bit late, the first portion of this was covering the numbers, what it looked like in terms of volume, what it took, how much income you can earn. If you didn't get that, it's available on MTV Maine as well as on my website in video format. About an 8 or 9 minute video. If you're trying to teach your teams and want to show them, that's available. We also have a handout with all of this information on it, and we'll make this PowerPoint available to you after the conference. So if you want this information in PowerPoint format as well as on the handout, you can do it. I want to talk just a little bit about generating wealth and understanding where we are right now at this moment in time in history. Back in the day, in the agricultural age, wealth was generated how? By growing things. Absolutely, we were growing things. Then we moved into the industrial age. Wealth was generated by making things. Then we moved into the information age. Wealth was generated by distributing things. Look at Amazon. What does Amazon produce? What do they grow? You said they won Retailer of the Year. They don't even have a brick and mortar location, but they distribute things. They are a distribution hub. That's what we do. However, we have now evolved to the share age. And wealth is generated by networking. And that's why we're all talking about utilizing these tools. If you're hesitant to get involved with Facebook, get over it. If you're afraid of tweeting, get over it. If you don't want to use a smartphone, get over it. Information is delivered in real time. Your competitors are providing information in real time so that folks can get that information in a matter of seconds and minutes instead of days, hours, and weeks. And you're competing in that marketplace. The 21 Club allows you to go into full mode, full court, full pressure in a short amount of time. And when you leverage the resources that are out there by having these videos on your phone, I can take 20 minutes and explain something to someone, or I can push a video or a play button on a smartphone, and a 3-minute video can explain the same thing with more impact, and I can just follow up with it. So learn to utilize these tools and move your folks through this information gathering process in a shorter time frame. That's where we're losing the games in a lot of instances, because our competitors have everything at their fingertips on their phone. Our demographic tends to be a little older, and so we want to do flip charts and coffee shop demos, and the real-time folks are sitting at their desk and having someone else sitting at their desk, and they're looking at a video together via a web conference, and the folks are already looking at 3 or 4 pieces of information. They've had 5 exposures in 3 hours, and they're ready to make a decision, and they didn't even know about Nikken 4 hours before that. The 21 Club fits right in that flow and in that movement. 21 Clubs are an amazing way to build your business. Now, Tony Scoma, Royal Diamond Tony Scoma, just recently completed a 21 Club, and he's going to share with you his experience and his tips on 21 Clubs.
Thank you. Good job, guys. Hey, just want to let you know where we're going to be 10 months from now? Orlando, Florida. Yeah. Going to be a 40th anniversary of Nikken worldwide convention right here in this city. 10 months. You got 10 months. In fact, you don't have 10 months, guys. You got 8 months to get to a new level. And the way you're going to do it is what you've just been hearing, the 21 Club. Have you been around Nikken long enough to hear the idea of the week? The idea of the month? We don't want that. That is confusing. I mean, we want to be able to adjust, but I'm telling you, this is solid. Nikken's made the adjustment to the 21 Club so it fits into our idea of how to build a business. We highly, highly recommend that you do this. So I signed up a new couple at the end of February, coming out of our Maui leadership event. Many of you have heard this story, but and this couple is just on their way to Orlando. They got stuck in Chicago, but I would like them to tell their story instead of me telling it. But Rainbow and Jeremy came on. So Rainbow is 33 years old, has a 2-year-old son, and her partner husband is Jeremy. He works for Apple, has for 22 years. Out of college, got recruited by Apple just about the time that Steve Jobs came back. And when Apple was actually not doing very well, now it's one of the great companies of the world. He makes a lot of money, has a lot of good stock, owns a couple real estate, a couple houses and stuff, all nice, but he still trades time for money, right? Just at a higher level than somebody at McDonald's. But he wants to have freedom. Rainbow wants to help him do that. She's been familiar with Nikken. I knew her down in San Diego when she was in the Navy and started Nikken with her former husband, and things didn't work out, and so she's got a new life and a new lease on life, and called me up right after Maui, out of the blue, and I signed them up. They came in as executives. They did the best. So the 21 Club, at the end, you're going to give people an opportunity to either choose the good, better, best. The best is all of them, all the packs, auto ship. And so they did that, and I said, I know exactly how to help you, because they said, we want to earn $10,000 to $12,000 a month. That will get Jeremy out of Apple. That was a very specific goal. So we have the 21 Club as a vehicle to earn that kind of money. I said, well, what we're going to do is you're going to be a diamond on your way to Royal Diamond. You're going to be running 200,000 points. You're going to have 6 organizations. Some are going to be stronger than others, but they're going to average about 35 to 40,000 points per group. Is that pretty specific? It starts to paint a picture in their mind. And we go, I said, but we have to start at the start, and we're going to start at 21 Club March 1st. Now, I promised I would come out. I live in Utah. They live in Northern California. She lived in San Diego, but they now have a home in Carmel Valley, just near Monterey, and then one up in San Jose. Now, she's a mother of a 2-year-old. Now, before, when she was in the Navy, it was tough because she would recruit people, and then they'd go on deployment. That's tough. But now, she has a whole new slew of friends, but she had for the time between when she was active in Nikken and when she was moved up to Northern California, she went to art school in Santa Monica, California. So she says, why don't we start doing a 21 Club there? Because I mentioned to her that I have a daughter and some grandchildren down there, so I thought I'd go to San Diego first and then meet her. I would have done that differently. One is, she's somebody that even if she sponsored people in Southern California, being a mom of a 2-year-old, she's not going to be able to go down there a lot, and there wouldn't be as much support. So if I would have done it differently, I would have said, look, you just stay in Northern California. We'll get down to Santa Monica at some future point when you've established your group. But we ended up spending 3 days there. We met with several people, artsy people. Love artsy people. Some of you are artsy people in here. But artsy people that she knew didn't have any money. And it was really tough to do a 21 Club. So we met with several people and we went to Northern California. That's where we started to meet the people that were really going to make things happen. I suggested that we do the 21 Club, meaning the 21 presentations initially in the first 10 days of the month. Especially the 7 days I was going to be with her. Don't wait and do the 30 or the 21 presentations over the 30 days. See the people so you can close the people. The bottom line is you want to recruit people and get customers, and you want to get that volume done. I said the 21 Club was not just to get the 6,000 points and the 3 seniors, it was to get to silver. That's what I told her that the goal was. So the goal was never 6,000 points. The goal was at least 8,000 points because they had put in 4,000 points early in February. Our goal was to go silver. The bottom line is that we did the presentations early in the month. They went silver in the 22nd day of March. And they ended up with 14,000 to 16,000 points by the end of the month. Again, silver is not a goal. It's just a profitable level. It's now establishing enough people wide so you can find your gold, platinum, and eventually diamond and royal diamond. As Dennis says, if we're a B enough times ourselves, Reed believes it's 6 times or more to have a successful 21 Club, we'll have established the width, the amount of people that we personally sponsored to go royal diamond. And what did I say up there? I was just telling the gold to platinums. Reed sponsored 20 people in 1 month. I took 3 years to do. And the difference between our cumulative incomes is only $34 million. So, you want to go slow? Hey, I did it. You can do it. You'll eventually get to the Nikken Millionaires Club, but much rather be Reed and his income, okay? Not that I want to be Reed, I just want to be like Reed, okay? So, 21, it seems so simple, so very, very simple, but that's how we're going to duplicate. And guys, do not falter. Do not look to the right or the left. Just keep doing them over and over again for yourself and for your new people. I absolutely believe that. I just think that if we have it in our minds what we need to do, then we won't hesitate, we won't doubt, we won't falter, and then we'll move forward and we'll be a lot more successful. And there's nothing better than a new person knowing exactly, when they're brand new and they don't know anything about the business, to know that you know what they should be doing. Because if you're both clueless, you get a lot of nothing happening, okay? And this is all about doing and doing it successfully. So I'm so grateful that the company has come around to see that the 21 Club could be a real business builder. I really think that one of the things that you should be doing with the 21 Club is almost in the same breath talking about the Paragon Award. That's over a 90-day period of time. sponsoring or getting 3 people to the silver level and doing 30,000 points of personal group volume in that 90-day period. You're making money, you're breaking silvers, you're developing businesses, you're using 21 clubs. If you just use just that, the last couple of sentences I just said, that last paragraph, guys, that's the winning equation to a successful business and making money in Nikken. Now, as people say, it's easier said than done. You got to do it. And what I found that Rainbow found when she was making appointments and stuff. So they sponsored 4 people in the month of March. 2 came in as executive. And let me tell you, if they didn't come in with all the packs, very unlikely they would have sponsored 2 executives. So when we talk about the best, urge people. Now, if you didn't do the best, that's okay. I mean, I saw Bo Tennis. You came in with 500 points initially, but before the end of the first month or the second month? When did you buy the rest of your product?
A couple months after I was silver.
Okay, after you were silver. So, you know, we have a very successful Royal Diamond who did come in at 500 points and then build from there. But I saw this as a business, like a previous business that wasn't that successful. I thought, well, you know, spending thousands of dollars is what I need to invest into my business. So it wasn't hard to convince a lot of my people, but the majority of my people that I've sponsored came in with less money than I did at senior level. But I believe that that's important to have at least enough product to start, you know, duplicating. You know, it's not what we do, it's what we duplicate, and people need to look and see what we're doing. Okay, so 2 executives, 2 seniors, and both of them, both Jeremy and Rainbow, both had contacts that came in separately. So everybody made a list, and we started to see people. I will tell you, though, that the people that came in executive, they were people that I saw personally. The A does make a difference. So use it. And we use, they've used Reed Nelson, they've used other types of A's, but primarily I'm the one responsible for their success initially, and they used me, and we did a lot of them by phone and webcast. It's been very, very successful. So that's my information.
Awesome. That's your story. Just stick to it. So we're going to open this up to Q&A in just a few minutes, but we've got a little bit. Yes?
When you're ready.
When I'm ready. Okay. She just wants to be first. Okay. Want to talk just a few minutes about successful 21 clubs. We started off the morning talking about that. Any 21 club you began as a successful 21 club. Let's celebrate the starts. Celebrate with your team members. Celebrate when somebody says, hey, I want to do a 21 club. Make that a big deal. Celebrate the fact that they've made that decision to move forward. If they get you in front of 10 new people, that's 10 new people you wouldn't have been in front of without the 21 club. Celebrate the fact they got you in front of 10 new folks. Don't wait until the end to see if you've got your 6,000, see if you've got the 3 seniors, to see if you put all that together. That's for Nikken corporate, and that's awesome. But you know what? For everyone, both of us, Pat mentioned it, I mentioned it. For everyone, and I've done many, many, many successful 21 clubs where I've got the pin. Matter of fact, I've got a closet that's got Nikken briefcases in it. They're still in the box that I got that I won. I still have Mont Blanc pins that I haven't opened up and used yet that I won before they started giving cash on there. But for every one of those, there was probably 15 that we didn't reach all the numbers, but it was still a successful 21 club. So look for reasons to celebrate with your people when they move forward and make this decision to do the 21 club. Now I want to talk about something else. The economy is perfect for what we're doing. The 21 club has positioned us and timed us perfectly in this marketplace. If you think that people don't have any money, guess what you're going to attract? People who don't have any money. If there's 20% unemployment, that's terrible for the folks that are in that 20%. Let's do something that can get the economy moving to help them out. And so it's the other 80% that's looking for an opportunity. If you think that people won't buy your products, you're right. They're not going to buy your products. If you think that the products are too expensive, they're going to think that the products are too expensive. The idea here is to get into your mind that it's about return on investment. And when you're doing these 21 clubs, it's how to get a return on their healthcare dollar investment. If I'm going to spend X number of dollars on a product, I want to be able to demonstrate for my customer how they're going to get a return on that investment. Increase in productivity, increase in lifestyle, benefit in health in such a way that this dollar investment in these products they did not spend, they invested. Folks in this economy have the money. They're just hesitant as to where they're going to put it till they know there's going to be a return. So if you go in with the attitude that these product technologies are going to provide a return on the healthcare investment, they're down for that. If you can show them via the first few slides we showed up here, how they're going to get a return on their dollar investment from coming into the company, they're ready to do that. 175,000 people a week coming into network marketing right now in the US. 575,000 people coming into network marketing in worldwide, globally. You only need 6. What's your problem? Okay? We just need to talk to more people. We need to get out and get engaged. Focus on what you want. Focus on the difference you want to make in the world, and get out the door with these 21 clubs. Experience them as both an A and a B. And I would encourage you, if you're serious about taking this thing to the top, do a 21 club as a B every month for the next 6 months. Duplicate your activity over and over again, while at the same time either mentoring A's or be an A yourself in multiple 21 clubs. Does that make sense? So here's what I'd like. I'd like a commitment from those of you in this room to engage in a 21 club immediately upon leaving this event. So beginning next week, how many of you feel like you can engage in a 21 club? Please stand up. All right, give them a big hand. Now, those of you that are committed to engage in this 21 club, I would like for you to begin it before you leave here. What I mean by that is start selecting the names, notify your teams, get in action now. Don't wait till Monday morning when you get home and go, well, I'm a little tired, I think I'm going to hang out a little bit. I'll get started on Tuesday, and then Tuesday becomes Thursday, and then Thursday becomes next week. Get engaged before you leave. How many will commit to do that? Yes. All right, awesome. Back, Pat, last comment before we go Q&A.
All right, I want you to look around this event and bump into Pam and Charles Foster. They are somebody that is just totally embracing exactly what is going on here and what we shared with you today. And what I want to share with you is that they came in and set a goal when they started business. Their background is, Pam is a school teacher, and she and her husband also have a photography business. So they're entrepreneurs. But they saw a dwindling business and wanted to replace it with Nikken. And so when they came in, their sponsor, we hadn't seen them yet, but their sponsor launched them more with a product mode. And we want a big picture mode, because your business goes faster when you implement the big picture mode than a product mode. The product mode is very slow to build. So they've been in for a little while, and we connected at an event, and they made the commitment. This is what Dennis is asking you all to do. They made the commitment and said, we want to do what's real. And we said, great, will you do a 21 club? Yes. So they committed, they're in another state, and so they committed to do consecutive 21 clubs. So not only did they launch in the first 21 club, they were lining up the second 21 club. And it went through all of the process that we just showed you. As they started to do the 21 club, they started to realize the bad habits they needed to let go rapidly, and started to put into place very great habits and leverage. And they realized how easy it was then to start to duplicate this into their team. And so they started the 21 club in February, and they started then the consecutive 21 clubs. By the time they were into their second frontline 21 club, they were already identifying from the first 21 club who needed to go into a 21 club. And out of the second one they were launching, they were already identifying who needed to go into that 21 club. So if you guys are thinking you're busy, this is a family that has a primary career, is running Nikken as a primary career, and they were running 2 consecutive and 2 second level 21 clubs with the intent to duplicate it into their teams. The result of that, they just broke 2 frontline silvers and went gold on April 30th. And this month we've sat down already to show them that they are in the running for the Paragon. And when they identify and repeat that process and break another silver, the volume will run out and they will get a $1,000 bonus this month when they do that. They've already turned around and is doing this with their people. And I'll tell you the difference between doing this slow and doing this fast. Was this chaotic? Absolutely. Are they having the time of their life? Absolutely. Are they a bit frazzled? Absolutely. But what's happening is they came here to this event to be around bigger thinkers so they can continue that journey. And they're willing to duplicate what they just did at Gold to go Platinum. But the people they've left behind are calling them like crazy and want to continue on because they've already set that duplication process. So when you bump into them, ask them how they did it and glean some of their success. So I just wanted to share that story.
Okay, so question and answers. We'll ask the questions, you guys give us the answers. We're going to just reverse. No, I'm teasing. Maura first, and then right back there. Maura?
Thank you. My question was in establishing who you're going to invite to the 21 Club. Have you already pre-screened people that want a business?
In some instances, yes. In most instances, no.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
The question is, as you set up for your 21 Club, have you pre-screened people who want a business? Perhaps. And again, perhaps not. The same process that you're going to use to go through, the prospecting, the creating conversations, same kinds of things are happening and then feed them through into the 21 Club. It's just going to happen sooner because you're going to do 21, not in 30 days, guys. You're going to do 21 over the course of the first week, preferably the first 3 days as you put that together. So in some instances, absolutely yes. In other instances, you're going to be engaged on the fly and you're going to do this and you're going to learn to do this pre-qualification type thing. Okay, well, you're going to learn to do that on the fly. So I'm talking to somebody, and in 3 to 5 minutes, I have them invited to something I'm doing this afternoon.
Yeah, and the thing at the bottom of one slide says, don't prejudge anyone.
Right.
Don't prejudge. Let the process say whether they're a customer, whether they're going to be a consultant, or whether they're not interested.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's 3 choices. Yes, I'll join you in the business. Yes, I'll buy the product. Yes, I'll give you referrals. There's not a 4th one. Okay, some of you are expecting the 4th one. Forget it. Yeah, your question.
Okay, part of my question was probably answered, but I just want to clarify. Okay, I've done previous 21 clubs that we always had to have the same A. So my understanding is we do not have to have the same A anymore.
That is correct.
And we can use any of our smartphones or whatever, person to person, whatever.
Absolutely. And you can have more than one C in the room at a time. Okay? I can put 21 people in a room, bring an A in via video conference, and do the 21 Club, and that counts. Okay? Now, you can also leverage, there's a lot of websites that's out there, the New Royal Alliance website, the MTV Maine, Nikken Corporate, that have videos with leaders on it. You can leverage one of those videos to be your A and contact that person and say, I'm going to play, Bo, I'm going to play your video, and would you come in for 5 minutes at the end? Bo comes in on the line for A. I write down the video and Bo's name, and Bo is my A. And you can use, over the course of that 21, you can use multiple A's, and you can have more than one C in the presentation. The only constant is the B. Okay?
Absolutely, but sometimes you have to pay attention to, you may have 2 people that come to a presentation. One's a product and one's a business. And they may confuse each other. Or they may help you. So you have to kind of be mindful and keep your ear open to it. Is that one going to be in the business of learning? But as you're talking to the business one, guess what? They're convincing the product one so that they join in the business side. So, you just have to be mindful of where it's going and do your presentations to satisfy everybody's need.
Let me build on that. I actually like it when there's multiple people there and somebody declares right up the front they're a product person only, I'm not interested in the business. That's great, but I'm here to honor all of you, so you don't mind if I talk to this person about the power of this and honor you with the product. And they're like, oh no. And so every time I'm talking to the product person and saying the power of this company and the timing and what they are, I'm turning to the business person saying, see, just by being aware of it and sharing it with them, the fact that there's people like this that are looking for that, and you're just sharing it, connecting. And at the end of the one that was just for profit, well, I can do that. So it's how you use that wordage. But back to the multiple A's and things like that, if you're a seasoned person in the business and you want to be a B and you know you're skilled at closing and things like that, you can just get in motion and go for 21 or 30 and start leveraging multiple A's. If you're a B that is not seasoned, you want to make sure you have a primary A, a strong primary A that's orchestrating and overviewing the entire thing. It doesn't, you know, like when I'm orchestrating somebody I'm doing a 21 Club with, I might be saying to them, I'm out of pocket for 2 days right now, that I cannot be free to do the call, but here's some more A's that can fill in, and then I will come back into the picture and review what's been done and things like that. So there's, when you have a primary strong A involved with multiple A's, and then somebody that can just do multiple A's.
So engage a mentor A.
Yeah.
A question over here, and then over there. Yes?
I think Pat answered a little bit of the question. My question is this: when you don't have a physical A in your area, can you elaborate on the different types of A's that are available? We've got video conference, we've got using a video now. I mean, just elaborating on more A's when you don't have a physical A in your area.
Yeah, and he brings up a good point. That's the reason why when we renegotiated the 21 clubs with Nikken, we said we must be able to use social media, video conferencing, and that type of thing so that everybody can become engaged. The simple rule is it must be a real person. So like Reed and I do a business opportunity broadcast every Tuesday night at 6:30 Pacific time. If you have one of us come in afterwards, you can utilize that piece of video. You cannot just use a video as the A without a real person talking. Other than that, you use whatever media you need to have it. You have person-to-person or webcast, either one will work. Okay?
So it can start with somebody that did a pre-recorded
It can start
interest
with
piece. So I know a lot of people use my interest piece on
Absolutely.
your website, and they get them engaged, and then they bring them on to me for a live presentation, and part of the work's already been done, and they've already leveraged that. So the key is make sure there's a live component, A, that comes into it.
Yeah, and you might look at your list of names, and you've got not 21 on the list, but 30, 35, 40 people that are going to be engaged in this, and you may pick, oh, these 5 people are going to really relate to Mac, and these 5 people will relate to, and you just call Mac and Pat and myself and whomever else you're going to use and say, I'm going to play your video, would you be available for 5 minutes real quick afterwards? Now you've tied a real live body to it, and on the line for the A, you can write down, I use Mac, I use Pat, I used whomever. Okay?
You can have multiple A's.
You can have multiple A's. You can have as many A's as you need.
You can have 21 A's.
Actually, you can actually have more than 21, because sometimes, and some quality people are doing this, you get an A, and then when their interest is, remember, this is about the process of fast connect and building the 5 to 7 contacts. I tell you, Dave Martin, who's in the room in the back, he launched one, and we weren't available, and so he immediately propelled into Dennis, and then Reed, and then back to us when we were available, and he went into 4, boom, 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 and the person built, and then they joined, and then see how they can do that too. So you have a primary A that goes on the sheet. But
Question?
How do you do the product demos? I saw that you're still doing some kind of product demo.
Absolutely.
And if you're doing a long distance, it's the A that's doing it, or is it?
Whoever can get in front of the individual is doing the. That's why it's called a business 21, but you must have some kind of a product demo
But the
on
B
there.
can do it? Even
Sure.
if they're new?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if they're
Absolutely.
in multiple states, like if you're doing one in Michigan, and we've got one in Texas and one in Washington, which is happening, it's whether you do a demo through the media, which I know many do. It's whether they're reconnecting at another time to do that demo, but you're doing the power behind the products in connection to the business.
It's not like the old Water or Sleep 21 Club when it was all focused around that product demo. It's called a Business 21 Club, and the product demo is an element of that instead of the primary focus of it.
Yeah, now, there are demonstrations that Pat and I did. They are very professional. In the living room, or in front of the water fountain.
Believe me, if I knew he was going to put that out there, I wouldn't have done that. But I mean, I liked the content, but it was supposed to be for one person at distance that was trying to learn it. Next thing I know, he's got it posted.
It's on YouTube, and they are product demos of the bag steps, product demos of the water, and product demos of the nutrition. So,
Absolutely. Okay, next question.
I was wondering, after you do the video or whatever it is that you have, do you suggest using yourselves, and if you're not available, your own A's, your own upline, your own, or
You use whomever you can get.
Right. You should never slow your business down because you can't get the one you want. Right?
So are you all available to anyone?
For the most part, it's just a matter of scheduling.
It's scheduled. It's scheduled because
When I got here on Thursday, well, I got here Wednesday night. And Thursday morning, somebody asked me if they could meet with me at a specific time. I said yes. Last night they came to me and said, okay, I've picked my time. Well, it wasn't available anymore because it already got booked. So if you call me to make an appointment, we need to book it right then. Because when the phone rings the next time, somebody may take that slot if you didn't just take it. So yes, we're available, but we're available upon scheduling.
Yeah, and what we're attempting to teach people is make sure that you collect over time 10 people of A quality that you're going to leverage. And that doesn't mean it has to be a diamond or royal diamond.
Yep.
I mean, you might have a gold that's A quality, you might even have a silver that's A quality that can be that person. But you shouldn't slow your business down. I mean, David certainly didn't slow his business down when Mac and I were actually on the other hemisphere, so we were not available. And so he just said, well, I don't care. And he went right to the next one, until he found the one he could book. And then he booked us then later.
There's another question? Yes.
Okay, I understand that it's changed, and I understand you do a little product and a little this and all of that. The commercial's okay. How much of the business do you really tell them?
Again, this is where you should, the question was, she was looking at the slide that said how much of these elements should be in it, and then the question was how much do you really spend on the business or the actual business part.
Yeah.
And really, the first look is an overview. So you're giving an overview and gauging where their interest is. And then you're setting the second appointment to then go deeper into their interest. So the second appointment is going to be more of the deep business, how to, what it looks like, and that after they've engaged. Or if they've discounted that and they said, no, I'm not interested in business, and they go in more to the product, then you're going to go in, show them that, show them the packs, lock them in and get that. So now, Mac mentioned sometimes your appointment will go longer. And one of the recommendations I would make personally is if you're on the phone doing a presentation with somebody, or you're even live doing a presentation with somebody, when I get to a point that I've done my footprint of what an overview should look like, and they want to carry it on, is I clearly stop it and say, okay, I just showed you you can do this business in a small increment of time. And we did an overview. But you're asking for your second appointment, big, deeper look now. So we are going into another phase of it, which normally we would do in a later appointment. So I'm actually helping them see later that I didn't blow 2 hours with them, and they think that appointment from now on, every appointment's going to be 2 hours. You'll kill your business if everybody comes in with 2-hour appointments.
Remember, it takes 5 to 7 exposures for someone to make a decision to join in network marketing. So we might be talking about this initial overview as the first exposure. And then there's an important word in this business, starts with an F. Follow up. It's follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. There's a business overview where you go into depth. There's a product overview where you go into depth. There's an event, either online or face-to-face, where you introduce them to people to also share their product experiences and business experiences. Then there's an additional follow-up with another A, perhaps, as a 3-way to reinforce or answer a specific kind of a question. So we may do all of that over the course of the next 24 hours, but they're each a separate exposure that we do. So the 21 Club presentation is just a commercial. It's just an infomercial, if you will. Okay. You give them a quick overview, and then you drill down into specifics of the next exposure. You know, it's like the first date trying to drag somebody in the back seat. It doesn't often work that way, okay? So, you know, there's got to be a little relationship building, a little dating going on here. We want to develop and have multiple multiple connections, multiple dates to make something happen. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, and,
okay. Well,
and really, you're looking.
You see our sports car.
Well, we're not going there.
You're looking at showing the timing, the right time, the right company, the right place. That's you're painting that picture. You're not going into detail. However, having said that, at the end of the presentation, I'm pulling out an application and handing it to everybody and say, so how would you like to get started? Out of the 6 we did just this last weekend, 3 of them signed up because I gave them an application. Are they all going to be consultants? I don't know, but they have filled out the application. They've sent that in. Now, there could just be consumers. but we're going to take them now to the next presentation so they can look deeper.
With referrals.
Right, with referrals.
Mac just gave you a huge point too, by the way, guys. Most of the folks who are signing up nowadays, they're signing up here. Have a paper application that you can put in front of them anyway. When they say, okay, I'm ready to do it, then switch over to your smartphone or your tablet or your computer and go ahead and do the process right then and there. But there's power in that, having that application and putting it in front of somebody and handing them the pen.
Yeah, and if you're doing consecutive ones, which we all try to do, we try to launch our people in very consecutive ones. Sometimes it takes a little bit to log on and sign them up that way. So the paper one's great because you're pulling it out, starting, and you're going to the next person. But never, ever, ever, ever leave the appointment without booking the next.
That's right.
And just one other thing too, on the last one we did, I pulled out the application, said, so how would you like to get started? And of course he says, well, I don't know. Well, it sounds to me like you want to become a member of this company.
Is that correct?
Is that correct? Then there was about 2 minutes of silence. I didn't say anything. The bee started to, and I kicked them. Nobody talks until the bee said something. That's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But just do it anyhow. And finally he says, okay, he's fill out the application. That's all it took.
Question?
Quick question about the application. Do you do that right after when you do the first appointment, or is that more on the follow-up?
Okay, so basically the rule is every time when you're in front of them at the end, you say, how would you like to get started? Every time, because you don't know, first of all, did the bee already warm them up? Did they already maybe put them on a webinar? And this is actually the third look in your overview. Or they could be somebody, like we had somebody that recently, the first look was on the phone. They told the bee that they weren't really interested, but they came and listened to the overview, and after that, they were ready to go because they had secret knowledge of network marketing and were blown away. So, and never, if they say, well, I'm ready to go, or you teach your people to say, how would you like to get started? If they say, well, now, no, wait, let's get together later.
Don't do that.
Always go now.
Guys, if we're talking about 5 to 7 exposures, 3 to 5 exposures for somebody to make a decision, Vice Alice might have already warmed them up with 4 exposures.
Yeah.
You might be their 5th exposure and they're ready to rock and roll right now. So another company may have already prepped them. We don't want to make the assumption that it must be 7 Nikken exposures. It's just 5 to 7 exposures of the industry, period. So always do a trial close at the end of every presentation. If they're not ready, you have the next appointment set up. And, well, I'm not ready. Well, of course you're not. You didn't get enough business information. So let's set a time to get together and we'll talk about the business overview.
And if at that point in time they say, I'm not ready, say, of course you're not, but we'd like you to commit to some more information because it'll build on what you've been learning. And so you get them into that committed process. You have your hand.
Yeah. I guess my question is, like, you're reaching out to people, like, say you reach out to somebody you haven't talked to in like 3 years, or somebody that you only had, like, kind of a surface relationship, and you want to get them into your business club. Like, what would be, like, the best approach to that?
Again, I recommend that you get this module off of Dennis's website. The question was, how do you do the second thing I showed up on the slide about reconnect with a warm market that you've been out of touch with or don't have a deep enough relationship with? How do I do that? What we do is we usually ask our bee, why were they thinking of them? So why were you thinking of them? So what words came to your mind? I like them, their energy's good, they're entrepreneurial, I care about them, or whatever. And then we teach them to just do that. Call the person out. Not with the intent to bring up Nikken. The intent was, I thought of you. You popped into my head. I wanted to reconnect. How's your life going? And you take them through the 4 acronym of how is your family? What's going on with your occupation? What are you doing on your time off? You reconnect, and then you end the call after you gathered 2 to 3 reasons there may be out, and you can then later call them back and say, I couldn't sleep. I was listening to some of the things you said, and you said that you travel too much and you're really scared where that's going, and you're not home for your family enough, and I just thought that maybe you want to take a look at what I'm doing. Boom, you're the second reconnect, and it was a legitimate, you found out some things. But get this module, it's called Creating Conversations module, brilliant. And it walks you through different scenarios of reconnect, bump into, different words to use. So your website is www.dennisestes.com. Go in, if you haven't been in there the first time, you put in your ID, sign in, so you can go in, back in, and then go in and pull off the stream. Oh, and then the Royal Alliance website, theroyalalliance.com.
Has all the links.
And has all these links that you'll be utilizing. So you want to start leveraging tools. So this was always in my iPad, and so when I am a new person, I immediately email it over to them. I shortcut them having to go on the Dennis's site right away, but I want them having this tool.
Just real quick, you said like you had the first call, like find out, hey, how am I doing? And then you hang up the phone.
How long before you wait? It really depends on your conversation. I mean, I'll give you an example. Recently we had a couple that wanted to escalate their business and do a 21 club, and I said, who's popping into your mind? And she said, a person in England. When's the last time you talked to them? 15 years ago. And we're like, okay, so your goal is to call them up and not mention Nikken, and it's to reconnect and make that relationship and look at the form and find out 2 to 3 areas that are out of balance that you can file away. And so their relationship blossomed so much on the phone that they got off the phone, were so excited, called us up and said all this stuff, and she said they said so many things that was just so right. Then I said, call them back. So she called back and said, it clicked. And when I got the phone, it clicked. That you might want to take a look what I'm doing. Boom, it was instant. There's other ones that have been a day. They wait a day and say, I slept on it. Woke up this morning and I couldn't get you out of my mind last night because I realized that you might want to look at this because I heard you say this, this, and this.
There's another little tip and trick on that too, guys. Every January, people are down for New Year's resolutions, right? So write yourself a resolution to reconnect with everybody from your past. And then as that name recycles and comes to the top, I could call and say, Mac, this is Dennis. You may not remember me. We served together in Australia, blah, blah, blah. So you tie it back into what it was. I made a commitment to myself to reconnect with folks from my past. I thought of you. Just thought I'd take a few minutes and chat. Do you have a minute? And you can do total cold contacts that you haven't talked to in a long time, reestablish that rapport and that connection. Don't say anything about Nikken at that time. That's not the purpose of the call. The purpose of the call is reconnect, to reestablish that bond and that rapport, and find out if there's something you can do to be of service, and then you can call them back at whatever length of time. Yeah. Maybe minutes, hours, days, weeks, whatever it might be. That relationship may flower out over time, and you may talk to them 2 or 3 or 4 times before you ever bring Nikken up.
Yeah. They may go into your second 21 club.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and yeah. Okay.
Question? Right here.
What do you do to confirm that there will be a follow-up? When you do an appointment and the 45 minutes runs out, either the person's out of time or you want to cut the time at 45 minutes, and you say, well, let's schedule another appointment. And lately, a lot of them are not following up. We schedule it and then something comes up. So how do you guarantee that there will be a follow-up?
You take a lasso, you put it around their neck, you tie their arms, and you hobble them, and you make sure they stay there till you get there.
Well, you can answer that for us. We'd be happy. Okay.
Yeah, because coming from your heart, you've already shared something that is of prime value to them. And so you got to get that across. What you've learned today is just the tip of the iceberg, and we really need to have more time. So when's your next opportunity? When are you going to be free next? And let them say, well, lunch on Monday. Okay, let's sit down and let's have lunch on Monday and pick the spot, and then you got it. Okay. So that's the simplicity of it, the value that you put on it.
If you have multiple, if this is happening over and over and over again, then you need to step back and look at the presentation because of the presentation.
Exactly, and you also need to do something in that 45 minutes that, again, is talked about here. You need to find out 2 areas of out of balance, in lifestyle preferably. Where are they out of balance in lifestyle? That is emotional to them. And then you can, third one can be product emotion linked. And when you have an emotional connection and set the second appointment to look at it based on their emotional lifestyle need, you'll get more people showing up to the appointment. That's the piece I think people miss.
Absolutely.
So good
Next question, back in the back here.
Okay, there's several ways you can do things. First of all, you go MTV, maybe you can use the first look link and it'll take you to 6 videos that are there and you can walk people through those videos.
MTB. Just go to theroyalalliance.com, go to links, drop down to MTB Maine, select that link and it'll take you over. Select first look and there's 6 videos there.
And the nice thing about the 6 videos is if you're sending it to somebody that doesn't know any better, they only see 2. And then when you follow up with them, if you're doing this long distance, you can have them go into the Y and find 2 more, and then there's 2 more. If you've got somebody seasoned, they're going to jump in and find the rest anyway, and you know you've got somebody live. At the same time, you know, there are additional videos and things on the Royal Alliance website, so you'll take some time to get comfortable with those because you might want to leverage them specifically as what I call second look. Or you might create your videos that you have in your iPad that are your first look, and you duplicate your team, and then later you leverage some of these others on these sites as second look, career match, or on. But don't just dump your new people out there into all the stuff. Have a duplicatable system that they follow, and then the second look, they'll start learning how to do that by personality.
We're also taking the brand new Nikken video and we're putting that right on the front of MTV Maine. So when it pops up, even if they're going to go do a live broadcast and they click on the live broadcast link, while they're waiting, they can come back out and click on that video and watch that video. So that'll be right on the front screen. So you can send your people there and then have them click over to first look if you want.
And you know why we like that new video? Because remember, if a video does what you're trying to do with your voice, it's much more powerful. So when people say, what is Nikken? Life and Balance is what is Nikken. Why is Nikken a powerful business? You've got Healthy Child, Healthy World, impacts everybody. You've got 10 years, the last 10 years of your life is the market, and then how to is the vital wellness. I mean, there's 4 videos there that tell the whole story, boom, right there. But get used to doing links like the first look that have them there and duplicate that.
And in a sequence. Okay, so we're out of time, guys. Just wrap this up. Those of you that committed to do the 21 Club, get engaged before you leave. Those of you that did not commit, please commit before you leave this weekend. It is a powerful vehicle to get your business off the ground, to get more people in your organization, to get a bigger check in your pocket, and it's a duplicatable process that allows your team to create a new culture of can-do attitude. You can be brand new in the business, just getting started today, or you can have been around for a while, and you can reinitiate and re-engage with the 21 Club. So today, we're going to take a few minutes, look at the numbers, the volume, what it looks like to create back-to-back 21 clubs to launch your business. And we're also then going to look at some tips and tricks and ideas on how to do an effective 21 club. And then finally, we'll open it up. Here's some success stories from some folks that have recently done 21 clubs, and then we'll do some Q&A at the end. So if you have questions, jot them down, and we'll get to them when we get towards the end of the presentation. Now, I want to dispel one myth right now, and Mac and Pat will each say this, and Tony Scolma will probably say the same thing. There is no such thing as an unsuccessful 21 club. If you make the decision to do the 21 club, let's celebrate that. Those of you that have folks on your team, when someone says to you, I want to do a 21 club, celebrate that. Let your team know. Make it a big deal. Be excited about it. If someone gets 10 appointments and they've not generated the volume, that's not being an unsuccessful 21 club. That's still successful. That's 10 people they're in front of that perhaps they wouldn't have been in front of otherwise. So celebrate the wins. Okay? Let's celebrate everything. Let's really get some excitement and recognition going with folks around these 21 clubs. I was just telling the folks in the earlier sessions, back when I was really launching my business and running with my business, I won several 21 clubs. I've still got briefcases. Nikken used to give a briefcase and a Mont Blanc pen. I've still got briefcases and Mont Blanc pens I haven't opened from those 21 clubs. But for every one of those quote-unquote successful, in other words, they met the criteria of Nikken, I probably did 15 that didn't meet the criteria for Nikken, but it still enhanced my business. We got in front of new people. We had improvement in our business, more volume, more people, more bodies, if you will. So just go out and get engaged. And then just keep doing them over and over again. There's some great tips and tricks you'll get here in a few minutes regarding how to pick up and continue your 21 clubs. So volume, what it looks like. First month, you're going to do a 21 club as a B. One of the things that Reed encourages, do 6 21 clubs in a row as a B. Do a B this month, a B next month, a B the following month. Do 6 of them as a B and then evaluate your business and see where you are. You'll be amazed. So our plan here is to do the 21 club and to go silver in the first 30 days. The difference is about $200 if you take 90 days to go silver versus about $800 if you go silver in 30 days. So let's focus that energy and get a lot of energy and activity going, a lot of people in place in that first 30 days and create some synergy and some energy as you're moving forward. Okay, so it's 6,000 PGV. And from there, you're going to expect 5 to 7 consultants and 5 to 7 customers. That's the result. That's the goal. You're going to begin with the end in mind. As we close this thing out, 5 to 7 consultants, 5 to 7 customers. Now the commission check's going to be about $275. Nikken's going to give you another $250, plus you're going to have any retail profits from your retail sales. Okay? So if you've got somebody out there that says, man, I got to make $500 and I got to make it really quick this month, do a 21 club with them. Get them engaged. Make that happen. So total earned about $525. So what does month 1 look like? You find an A, you're the B, make 21 presentations. Now you're probably going to have to book 30 to 35 appointments, maybe a few more than that to get 21 to show up because they don't know what you know. And so life happens and they're not going to be there. So have a few extras. And then we want you to do these guys in the first week. Don't take 30 days to create this 21 club. Don't drag it out. Again, you've not created any momentum. We're going to recommend that you do these appointments in 2 or 3 days. Get all of that done in the first week so you've got the next couple of weeks to follow up and do another 21 club. Get them going in quick succession. So second month, what does it look like? The 3 new seniors that you got out of your first 21 club are now going to be out doing their 21 clubs. So we're going to go create 3 new with those front line, generate 18,000. By the way, those of you that are scribbling real hard, we have a handout for you with all this information on it. Still a great idea to stab the idea with an end of a pencil, so still continue to write. Plus what I'm doing right now is already available as a video that you can go, it's about an 8 or 9 minute video you can download and watch with this information on it. 18,000 PGV, about 1,275 in commissions. You can generate some quick money. You know how to get people engaged and keep them engaged in network marketing? Get a check in their pocket in their first 30 days. Get a significant check in their pocket by that second month and they'll never go away. Any fishermen in here? Anybody like to fish besides me? Raise your hand up. Be proud of it, guys. Come on. Okay, so I love to fish. If I go out on the stream at 4:30 in the morning, it's just getting light. Cast my fly line out there. Wham! Snap! And I lose that fish. Guess where I'm at 4:30 that afternoon? I'm still in that same hole because Walter's still there, right? I got him once, I'll get him again. Okay, if you get a check in the pocket of your new consultant, they're going to stick around because they got one, they know there's another one out there. So they're going to keep looking. $12.75 in commissions, and you are now silver. So if you didn't get it done in that first 30 days, if you continue, it will happen automatically in that second 30-day sequence. So shoot for the 30 days, but it's automatically going to happen here. So what does that look like? Now you're the A, and you're doing 3 21 clubs with 3 different Bs. Now, third month, here's where the magic begins to happen, guys. Now, you're 3 frontline. Now you're going to be the mentor to the new A's. What we're doing is creating a culture in our organizations, in our teams. As new people come on, the only thing they know is, oh, we go get engaged in 21 clubs. Yes, there's the RI training, there's the assessments, there's all this other stuff that we're doing, but we do that in non-productive time. When is non-productive time? Before 8 in the morning and after 9 o'clock at night. Between 8 in the morning and 9 o'clock at night, if you have time to do Nikken, it's eyeball to eyeball, belly button to belly button, or screen to screen. Okay, you can do it virtually. But this is when you're talking to new people. Personal development, professional development is done before 8 o'clock in the morning, after 9 o'clock at night.